It's March 30th, Monday. It's about 2:45 in the afternoon. Right around 70 degrees, maybe a little bit cooler than that. And it's just gorgeous outside. It's been 2 weeks since we've been back from our vacation, so we've stuck at home. Some of it enforced, but mainly a self-enforcement on our own to make sure that if we had contracted anything when we were on vacation that we weren't spreading it around. So we've stuck close to home, and as a result we've gotten quite a bit done in our yard. So I wanted to show my garden diary. I have to show these Armeria. I think they're just blooming like crazy. There's more stems coming out of them than ever before. So I never even knew of these plants before I got them, and I'm just really pleased. I like the way they, even though they only bloom in the spring or whatever, I just like the little tufts of grass, or they're kind of clever. And then these little pink puffs of color are so pretty. Speaking of pink color, there's the purple. I think those are purple petunias. I'm gonna cut the bottom of those off and propagate a bunch of them. So that's on my project list. The other thing that's on the project list is to start filling these containers and get things planted out in that. That's doing pretty well. Petunias in this one. Here's the purple lantana. It's coming along. That's some of that California fuchsia that started to finally grow in that container. It's kind of nice to see that. We've had some pretty strong winds this last week, but the forecast, I think we're supposed to get windy on maybe Wednesday. I don't know what's wrong with that red one there. Might be stressed. I don't know what, I think the forecast on Wednesday is for wind, but other than that we're supposed to get up into the high 70s. So there's the pomegranate tree. This little, I can't remember, I always have to look up what that is, but it's starting to green up. The oleanders like it over here. Those artichokes have gotten a little bit bigger, but they're slow growing. I don't know. Not a whole lot to see over here. I have, our trees are stressed, so these I get these little trees growing all over the yard because they're losing when the tree gets stressed, they drop all this stuff that causes baby trees, I guess. These, we don't think are getting enough water, so I got to do something about those. I should probably show the trees. Got the greens are coming out. There's nothing happening on these red lantanas. This is some kind of, I think that's a milkweed. But there's a red lantana in there, nothing's happening there. This bougainvillea doesn't look too healthy, it's just the wood. The green that's in that is pink and yellow lantana. These salvia are doing good. There's actually even some flowers. These purple lantana are doing pretty good. There's some green on them. Those are purple lantana that are at the end of this flower bed here, but I'm going to pull those out. This is the Cape honeysuckle. Probably should have, well, we'll see. I've read some about these and they don't, I don't know if they do well long term in these pots. There's a petunia that's going crazy, and then this is a African daisy, and then there's a calabricoa and a red petunia in there. I cut this back some more, this calabricoa. These petunias are doing nicely. I'm looking at putting a pot on each side. I'm gonna build a little path here, and I'm looking at putting maybe a pot on each side. I don't know. It might look too crowded. I'm not gonna use that color pot. I'm gonna probably make the pots brown so they'll blend in a little bit more. Oh, look at, there's a hummingbird over on the lavender. Pretty. Anyway, the other thing, I started to gather up some rocks, and I'm building a little rock planter type thing. Instead of that fabric showing, I need to make it wider so that they don't fall. Here's my blueberry plant. There's not going to be a ton of berries, but that's okay. This is its first year. Same here. These gladiolas are coming out. This is the goji plant. This is a goji plant. And then around it, I still have not been able to identify some of these, like this one for sure is a tree. So that's probably what this is mainly trees. Although I will say that I do have cilantro popping up, because there is cilantro in this bed. Like that little guy right there is a cilantro. And here's a cilantro. So when their true leaves are gone, some of them are actually turning out to be food items for us. This is all cilantro. So I don't know how well it'll do in these pots, but I'm gonna try it. Those are aronia berries. Those petunias are starting to bloom really good. And then I'm gonna try not to show too much of my husband. Oh, the other thing I did is I laid down a pre-emergent. We got some rain. I can't remember what day it was. Friday maybe? So I went around and sprinkled pre-emergent in all of the rocks so that I could eliminate some sprouts. There's a viola, whatever. And those I think are baby's breath. Mom. This guy's doing pretty good. Coming back in green. Here's a calabricoa I planted right before we went on our vacation, first part of March. And it's doing all right. And then this is a little sweet potato sprout that I had off of a sweet potato in the house. So I just stuck it in the dirt. We'll see how it does. I haven't, there's a cilantro there that's kind of big. And then I wanted to show my husband is building new beds. So I have this one against the wall. In fact, that's him. The other thing that I've done is I've redone my strawberry tower. And then these are all the strawberries that I started from seed. And then what I'm going to do is in some of these spots, I'm actually going to plant some lettuce. And I just started the lettuce in the house. There's some strawberry plants in here, little tiny ones. This is salvia. And like I said, I redid the whole strawberry tower. And like over here, I'll put lettuce in these spots. I just couldn't put a whole lot of strawberry plants in there. They were getting hard, but I've got some, and by hard I mean difficult. I've got some strawberries, and there's some that's blooming. But I cleaned it out. These are places I'll try to plant something, although I don't know. We shall see. All of my plants are still in the little protected area, and they've been watered. The yellow is tomatillos, yellow blooms are tomatillos. There's a lot of peppers in here. But we were still getting into the high 30s at night, so that's why I haven't felt like, all of these are summer vegetables and plants. There's some eggplant in there. I just don't want to bring them out until I know that our frost date has passed, but I still just feel like protect them for a little while longer. Turned over this bed. It had a lot of leaves sitting on the top of it, and so I redid that. This is what my husband's working on. He's got 2 new beds going for me. I really love them. And then we moved this red bed down to the end here. And the only thing we dug out as much dirt as we could so that we could move this bed, because otherwise it's too heavy. And then we moved it to the end. And all of these started sprouting. These are actually tatsoi. I found the seed packet today. And the reason they bolted is if they get disturbed, they immediately think that they need to set some seeds. And so these have been disturbed, and they're setting their seeds. They're blooming to set seeds. So there's the pansies. And I think that's about it. This tree is the one that's turned green first, really. It's amazing. The other 2 are still the spring green sprouting. But we got lots of projects going on, and we're getting lots done because we're home. But not that we weren't home a lot to begin with, but even more so now that we enforced ourselves to stay home. I hope everybody that watches this is safe and doing well. And I bless you all. Bye-bye. I thought I would show the other part of my garden. I had all of these cilantro that I kind of rescued out of the rocks. and I don't know that they'll survive in here, but I've been keeping the fluorescent light on him. And this little dude back here, he's actually doing really well. I read something where when their leaves start to discolor like this, it's because they're stressed. So I don't know that any of these will make it, but I wanted to give them a shot. And our house is pretty cool, which cilantro likes cool. So if I could figure out how to grow these indoors, I will just do it year round because we love cilantro.